So you've decided to leave the world of law enforcement to join the corporate security sector. It's not an easy transition, and it's not one that should be done overnight. But while you're waiting and while you're researching and trying to figure out where you fit best in the corporate security world, there is one piece of advice that I will give you that I believe can help you make that transition a little bit smoother. Learning how to operate in a business the way that corporate security does could be paramount to your success when you make that transition. In business, there are only a few units that touch the entirety of the business, security being one of them. But security really works across all different business units to successfully create a space where all employees and guests and staff and products and everything else that you're protecting are safe. To do that, we work with a multitude of different people on our peer level, in our advanced leadership level, and even in our levels below us to achieve these goals. So the one piece of advice is I would say if you're a patrol officer, if there's a ton of burglaries in one neighborhood, reach out to detectives and specialized units and leadership and whatever other resources are available to you at your department and see if you can get them together to think up a plan of action that you can put into place that hopefully eventually lowers those burglary numbers. In that sense, what you've done is you've driven a cohesive team to a successful result, which not only benefits the stakeholders and clients, in this case, your public or your community, but will also benefit the police department as well, because the community will then look back at the police department as an effective part of that system. Once you've done that, that's your perfect pitch in an interview. You show them how not only were you integral in building teams, but establishing goals, and then tell them how you successfully helped drive that working team to that end goal, which led to these results. That's just one piece of advice that I have, but it's really important to understand how complex the corporate security world is and the different types of people that we're going to interact with. So think outside of the box when creating these teams. We don't have to silo off. If you also want to bring in community members from that neighborhood, there's probably a lot of good intellect that they could bring into the conversation as well. The admin department, the cops unit, dispatch. Start thinking about any and every resource that you have at your disposal that you could use to affect that end goal. It's that kind of collaboration and that kind of effectiveness and efficiency that companies pride themselves on delivering when you're in a corporate security environment. So that's my one piece of advice. Even though you're not in that career, you can start treating it as if you are. And I guarantee you, not only will it be a successful initiative for your business skills when you get into this world, but it will also drive you to successful results in law enforcement. That's just one piece of advice from somebody who's been there, who's worked in that world, and who now understands how that kind of thing in law enforcement really sets you up for success in corporate security. If anybody has any further questions or wants a little bit of clarification, please don't hesitate to reach out to me either on LinkedIn or through thecenturypost.com, where I have other valuable information that can be used in this transition. But also just reach out and maybe we can get on a phone call or we can talk about how you plan on your transition. And this is me reaching back to hopefully make sure that your transition is not only successful, but that it's done with no bumps in the road.